In a check, 1, 2, and we bring this down. I got the lights set up and I'm leaving them up. I got my webcam set up and I'm leaving it up. This is becoming more of my lifestyle. I really need a massage. For those of you ladies out there, I can point it out to you right there. Maybe you can do a little astral massage. Actually, you know what? Don't even try it. You just got to knot, like literally it's inside the lung or something. I mean, this is just absolute insanity though. So, deep breath. I have a live news feed running in case you're interested. Maybe we'll listen. Last night I did a recording. The audio was so bad it didn't get uploaded, but I was discussing how CNN, at least part of their building, was evacuated last night as I was uploading a lot of those videos. And earlier in the day, I was discussing the possible predictive programming of V for Vendetta, public officials, comedians being targeted. And this was something that I was thinking about days ago. This is not the first time that's happened. I don't claim to be a crystal ball reader. I don't claim to channel. But as long as I've been doing Outside the Box TV, I've talked about things that have been a part of the collective consciousness, or they have manifested soon after. And so I don't think that it's something that I alone have. I mean, there's a lot of us that are picking up on what's been going on, and we've been called crazy for our concerns. We've been called libtard. We've been called right-wing extremist if the person yelling at us is on the left. I've dealt with it all, and it doesn't get easier as the years go on. Things get more concerning. Things feel dangerous. Me being an independent in a world where a lot of people, I believe, are under a spell. When I wrote that article, Mass Mind Control, through Network TV, that was posted by Rince in 2005, he may have gone in his own direction of mind control and, like many others, forgotten the point of that essay. And we could take that same essay, and I think I probably should on this channel, and do a modern day breakdown, look at what I wrote in 2005, which had so many people's support. But there's also editing of my essay when people reposted it. The first line was supposed to be, why do so many Americans go along with the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan? It was edited to be, why do so many Americans go along with the war in Iraq, with Afghanistan taken out? So where was I? Where was I in all this, right? Because we're in a day and age where a lot of people are not discussing the issues happening in particular countries with a level of compassion and a level of wisdom. Let's go beyond the conspiracy word, the dirty C word, but that is the reality, and it takes a certain level of wisdom to really pick up on what's going on, including why every time they have political elections, for example, in Afghanistan, they have these convenient booms going off that disrupt the whole process of moving it forward. Man, it is so sad seeing these numbers, 177 dead. And are they describing white Americans? Are they describing Spanish? Are they describing Chinese? No, 177 Afghans dead. Boom! And it's like they've had to go through that bombardment through the actual war, but there's actual manipulation in their elections. And of course, people use that to marginalize, of course, all of them as another 177 Afghans. Boom! Gone off the planet forever. And that wasn't something that I planned to say when I hit record. That's really traumatizing what's going on over there. And knowing that if I talk about that on my channel, it could be demonetized. The way I view reality and the way that I experience reality is like no other human. We may be in this together on a like a general sense because we're all human. Do we all have souls? That's up for debate. Which ones have lost their souls and which ones are trying to reattain their rightful position maybe somewhere beyond this human realm. I don't want to bring it back down to the news. I don't want to lose all these people that may be watching that are following this breaking news. But this is a reality, folks, that I'm living in, where I'm reporting on breaking news, and yet we could see this coming. And what is this? Well, whatever you believe politically, and whether or not you believe these official stories, and there are so many different official stories, it's a sign of the times. And so as we look at this, and again, understand we have Donald Trump coming out. There was an arrest, and they're talking about wanting to go after the others, and he's doing it in a stern way. And yet the Twitter version of Trump, he's talking about the bomb stuff in quotes. Bomb stuff. So there's an element of him that's playing into that political element, blaming the media, and then another side of Trump, which is the serious demeanor. And again, the message is there for Trump supporters. If you could see him playing both sides in the media on one level, how is that authentic? Even if you like somebody, even if you really like a girl, for example, for those of you guys that are out there, you like a girl. You really like that girl. You like taking that girl home. You like what happens when you go home with that girl, or she with you, woman, right? But you become aware of a two-faced nature at some point. You become aware of missing funds. You become aware, I don't know, of missing drugs. Maybe you're a party animal. You become aware of things. You become aware of dirty condoms in the waste basket that weren't properly disposed of and flushed down the toilet, evidence disposed. You become aware that things are not as they seem. But you may be mesmerized by that golden, you got all the endorphins running, kind of like what Donald Trump, it's the return of the king, manga, yeah. But it just activates the cellular, you're winning when you're losing. You'll actually use tensions to actually make Americans look bad. And the way that I'm describing this, there are very few people out there that seem to even understand the things that I'm talking about. I'm the one that's considered crazy. But see, years ago, I talked about things building up, and they can manufacture things, and they can be legitimate. They can absolutely manufacture things in the media and create controlled arguments, so they don't have to actually go out and manufacture every little event. They can actually, skull screw the American people at such a deep, profound level. They are the ones that are taking your resources. We are innocent. We're looking out for you. And the whole Make America Great Again, but also with Barack Obama, change we can believe in, when he set us into the same ditch, they lie to you. There's a whole other video I wanted to get into. What is wrong with Americans today? We're going to have to come back to that one. But you can't just externalize it to one thing, to the media, to the food. There's the ultimate nature of herd psychology and human behavior. In addition to that, a lot of people don't have memories. A lot of people aren't able to connect things with the predictive programming with V for Vendetta or something else. The idea of it. A lot of people can't think anymore. It's like I get this feeling and I want to, push it back. It's like the world's already ended and this is just the fallout. I'm going to just pause right here and bring up, this is a live stream of the audio.
I would suspect that it is a vehicle that was under the control or associated with the suspect they have in custody. And what they're doing with the TARP is they are simply trying to package the vehicle in such a way that as they transport it, because there's a tow truck adjacent to the van, as they transport it to a facility where they're going to examine it very carefully, they can do so in a way that minimizes any destruction of potential DNA or other forensic evidence that may be on the outside of the truck.
And Steve, you've been a part of some of these investigations before.
This is the news. And so, bringing up Alex Jones briefly, I was going to make a point, really a whole video about him last night, but there were some technical issues. He seems to be placed on the scene right before 9/11 to make the prediction and kind of ride the wave. Well, the masses, myself included during that time, because, well, the internet was new. He was literally at the right place at the right time. I'm sitting there discovering Access TV late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning. There's 9/11 Road to Tyranny. Alex Jones. Then 2 years, I'm doing my own show on Access TV. And there was some good that came about from that. But in hindsight, seeing that he's turned 180, I could see how he's been placed in position. In other videos, I've talked about that. So here we are now. And Alex Jones being positioned to be the hero. Oh, the victim. He's still on InfoWars. He's got a video platform. Google and YouTube helped him anyways, along with Twitter, rise to a particular place. Yeah, there was a coordinated effort from the tech giants to censor him. And I think there's been also a coordinated effort to take him to a certain place. You see, a person that's at a certain place in power and prestige doesn't need all of those social media websites. And they can actually be bigger under the guise of being censored. In brief, I've talked about that too. So, you know, for example, there were hearings with Twisted Sister and others. They were concerned about the parental advisory warning. Well, once they actually passed that, Motley Crue and others were laughing, going, that was like a buy this now, steal this now type of a sticker. And so the ratings went up. The demand went up for the artists that were labeled too hot, too hot to handle. You know, put that little sticker on it, makes those of us that were youngins during that time want it even more. And so when it's not actually censored, and you don't even, I mean, literally kids can access just about anything that there is. There's a lot of things that I'm surprised are not illegal that are on the internet. We'll just keep it at that. There's a lot of things that are on the internet that I'm surprised are not illegal. What does Alex mean by that? What does Alex mean by that? Gee, what does Alex mean by that? Because when you look at some of the things that are illegal in this world, for example, the therapeutic use of MDMA, baby, for PTSD. Better line that up. No, that'll get you 5 to 10. I don't know, maybe unless you're in Canada or somewhere else, or where they're doing a study in Europe or somewhere, the Netherlands, where that's okay. You know, that's also, you look at marijuana laws. It's legal over here. People will be growing it like crazy. The next state over, like New Mexico, it's like draconian. Arizona, like felony charges for certain levels of pot. Like there are certain things that are illegal for no good reason. I know we're kind of sidetracked, but it's just an abstract rant. Anything goes, ladies. You know, take it all off. Put it on the glass. Share those ideas, right? Full transparency, no holding back. Full mind leak, full download. You know, to leak and share the truth of what someone has, but to also do a true, pure download. You see, I try to live away from the electric grid to keep a lot of these electric Alex Ansary thoughts pure. You know, the natural buzz, which is my own. I don't need no cell phone towers. No. I don't need no strip clubs. No totally draining meetups anymore. No more awkward late night one night stands. Hey, Portland, fuck off forever. All society is a hive collective walking into the grave. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. See, this is why you don't want Alex Ansary to have more than a few bars at the karaoke, because something like what happened that one night in 2011 at that karaoke place on Gleason in Portland, that could happen again. And, you know, that does not exist in video. But there are times where people will live in urban environments and they will take to drink in karaoke to deal with this kind of news that's erupting in our world. So yes, bringing it back to center, the maniac known as Alex Jones has been placed there seemingly with the predictor programming, make him look like a victim, but also seem like, wow, he really was right. He really was right. He really was right. And so he's playing into that role, and they were really mocking the idea of the bomb situation or the recent video. It's all a joke to them. It's all a joke to them, with Owen laughing, oh, everything's fake, ha ha ha, funny, funny, funny. Everything is this, everything is manufactured, and some things are. And this could be. But we don't reach that conclusion because of him or what he says or others like him. He's there to actually discredit a genuine contrarian nature that actually asks the real questions about things. In the modern day and age, when somebody thinks conspiracy theorist now, they think about him, and that is on purpose. And certain issues now, whether it be 9/11 or other things, JFK isn't as direct, 9/11 more so, and other button issues. So this is not good. This is not good for every contrarian mind to be demonized that questions official stories, and for everything to be compared to that man. I mean, even some of the most die-hard cult member fans of his in the past have woken up. The thing is, that's a certain level of cult member from the old days. There's opportunity to wake up from that Kool-Aid, once someone actually becomes spiritual and they see Alex Jones like turn and start like foaming at the mouth, then somebody can go, oh yeah, I'm totally not with him, bro. No, dude, that's not why I got involved in the 9/11 truth movement. Start putting that's not what it was about. Bait and switch. You see, what am I, like the brainiac in the room that's just discussing a simple bait and switch on the human population? Or are the chemicals that they are spraying in some of these urban areas that toxic? But anyways, you know, I was also showing last night in the recording, the chat, and everybody's, you know, laughing. Ha ha ha, he, ho ho ho. This is fake. Putin must think it's funny. And see, this is also the reality that we're in, that we have these big time events, and then we have it demonized for us to question certain events. But sometimes when there are legitimate events, we have people laughing and calling everything fake, and really mocking the victims and mocking the story. And, you know, when we're looking at those live feeds, and that's just a sensation I get when I'm watching that live feed from the media, maybe we'll go listen to a little bit of audio in a minute, it feels purely demonic. But I also say archonic in a lot of videos to describe it in a less Christian way and more Gnostic. It feels evil. It has that sense of end times and the apocalypse. And without a doubt, they could be subliminals. Let's briefly listen to just a little bit of audio.
In questioning, and you know, one of the big questions is, did they have any help, assuming they are the person in fact responsible? And then, of course, are there more packages out there?
And that's going to be the question, because authorities have not been able to determine how many more packages may be there. Once this suspect is talking, if in fact the suspect is talking, perhaps the authorities will ask. Probably the first question is going to be, how many packages total? Right now they're looking at 12 suspicious packages, all of them sent to prominent Democrats or their supporters. The latest involved...
So one of the ways in which they can demonize the idea of even questioning to begin with, there's Alex Jones and others saying the whole thing is manufactured, and they're able to manifest a arrest. So is this going to be a situation that even though there's an arrest, that there's going to be theories about, and there might be, the person doesn't exist. There is no arrest record. Show us the mugshot. Show us the, I mean, I don't know where they're going to take that. Maybe he's another Lee Harvey Oswald. He's a patsy who's put up. It's a deep state thing. Deep state thing. See, the thing is, we do have a shadow government. Thing is, I'm going to wrap things up, folks. I want to thank you for watching. Please financially find a way to support this program if you like these types of videos that are outside the box or left-right paradigm. But that's up to you if you want to support this program. But I'm telling you, as an underdog, living off the grid for as little as I do, I appreciate it. More so than I think some do, that are raising far more than I, that are living in urban environments. There's something very sacred about receiving help and assistance when it's something off-grid, and that's rarely done for a YouTuber, and for everything to go just back into the land, to be able to stay here full-time without living a luxurious lifestyle. Like, I would like to travel. I'm not sure what other conclusionary thoughts I'd like to say, but I would like to travel. These things disappoint me. I'd like to travel to Oregon. The fighting there encourages me to stay home. I'd like to travel to Colorado, elsewhere in Colorado, to Denver, there's not a lot of consciousness up there. I don't know of really hardly anyone in this state that's really, tapped in and has been a viewer for a long time. There's a lot of bipolar, narcissistic, angry, politically charged energy out there, and it has never felt colder. And I feel like I am alone in that, in talking about how the recent years, and I'm not making this just about the president, even if you watch the behavior of some people on the left, new lows of nastiness. So I've stated almost like repeatedly 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 40 times, how I'm stating this from being outside the left-right paradigm and making this about Trump, but my statements ultimately are spiritual, and that's still going to alienate people. Even if I explain to them this is bigger than Trump or Trump criticism, it's still going to alienate them because it's a deeper spiritual look at this world. I shouldn't be this alienated from your world, living off the grid in isolation, wondering how long I have to live, like having only a communication and a connection with people on YouTube when there's a greater world out there. But it's a greater world out there with manufactured events that are taking place, with people fighting in the streets in my hometown at levels that they weren't 10 years ago. And I've said this 10 times. Or several times now, but I'll have to say it 10 times if that's how many times I have to say it for you to understand it. This is not normal. This level of fighting, these level of bomb threats, the types of things that Alex Jones has been doing, the level of deception that he's done, the level of fear that they're bringing. What type of a manufactured event are we about to see with this caravan? Are we about to go into a whole new religion from a manufactured event to where we'll see whole cults rising saying Trump was right? People literally be tattooing that on their face like some sort of new tribal art. Trump was right. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying that it seems that there's messaging going on his side of the media that he's able to control and those minions, that something could be coming out, and since he's the president, he could also manufacture something to make sure he was right. Did we not see this with Obama? Did we not see this with George W. Bush? And so, I don't know where people's heads are right now, but I would say that the zombie apocalypse is not something that is a movie, necessarily with blood dripping down. It's the ongoing social zombie apocalypse of those people stuck in the left-right paradigm that aren't able to see that we're being played.